Hey, what's up, everybody? It is me, skippysimon. I am on the internet. Alright, I was cleaning up and I found something. I keep finding lots of weed in my apartment. It's crazy. I keep forgetting I get all this weed. But this is the crazy part, okay? This is like one of the companies I work with, and this is Neptune's Edge. And like, look at this. Like, that's like good-ass weed. It smells amazing. I'm gonna go smoke some later just because I dropped a nug. Oh well. That'll be the first one to smoke, I guess. Anyhow, if you guys are in Southern California and you're in need of cheap weed at your dispensary, please get in contact with me on my Instagram, One Man Sausage Party, and I will get you in contact with the wonderful people at Neptune's Edge. It is a win-win for everybody because cheap weed is great weed. This stuff is high quality too. Oh my god, like this guy gets... I'm impressed with how much the weed industry has like just... the prices are like... too many growers. And it's sad because the growers are the ones who should be making the most money and they're making the least. I got a bunch of buddies who are growing. And the prices are so low now for like pounds of marijuana that they're basically growing just to keep their lights on. So crazy how 20 years ago a pound of weed went for $5,000 and now a pound of weed goes for $500. But as my buddy is trying to do, he's trying to pass the savings on to you. So if you want cheap weed, get in contact with your dispensary. Have your dispensary get in contact with me. And I will get you some high quality bud for low prices in your place. I promise you. I promise you. Because I love that marijuana. Majarna. I love that stuff. Forget it. Alright, now for what you're really here for. Unboxing, mukbanging, review action. Oh yeah. I went to my local El Pollo Loco, where I am a regular. And shout out to Kim and company at my local El Pollo Loco. She hooked it up for me tonight. Alright? Because I was using the app to get $5 off because I collected enough points. You got to use the apps. You got to use coupons because I'll tell you what, you're going to save a fortune if you do. I'll show you this if it's on here. But tonight, because Kim helped me out, because I had a coupon, I got a crunchy chicken taco as well. These are fantastic. $3.49 value, absolutely free using a coupon. Now, let me show you. I used the app. My girl Kim hooked it up. I don't know if you can see that, but I got nachos. Delicious. These are fantastic. I got nachos. Large El Pollo Loco drink. And Monsignor Crunchy Taco. How much? How much would you say I paid for all that? How much? Well, you're wrong. That's right. I paid $5.14. $5.14. See, I was lucky enough to learn from my father that money is better in my pocket than somebody else's. I used to make fun of him for clipping coupons. Never did I realize that him clipping coupons was him saving money and lots of it. My dad is the smartest man I ever met. He is the most noble human being you will ever meet. He is the biggest sweetheart. Him and my mom have been married for 58 years together. They've been best friends since they were 14. I am very fortunate to have the best parents. My mom is racist, but I still love her. I just don't like that about her. She was talking to me recently about how a certain family member doesn't speak to her anymore because of her political beliefs. And I go, Mom, it's not a political belief. You're just racist. And she got so angry with me. But the thing is, she's a narcissist. She's, very low on the Dunning-Kruger scale. Of course, she's a Trump supporter. But needless to say, I don't know. I give everybody their freedom. I'm a veteran. I fought for everybody's freedom here in the good old USA. If you want to, hey, whatever, say what you want to say. I'm a veteran. I fought for your right. I tell my gay friends all the time, listen, I'm a veteran, okay? I fought for your right to be gay. Now you get out there and you be the best gay that ever gayed, god damn it. Because I love my gay friends. And I mean that too. I want them to just have a blissful life and enjoy, everything that everyone else does. Just enjoy life, Hey, you like dudes? That's cool. I'm down with it. You like chicks? I'm down with that too. Love is love as far as I'm concerned. But enough about that. You know what? Okay, before we go on. I figured out homophobia. Okay? Let me tell you what homophobia is. Homophobia is the fear of a man treating a man the same way a man treats a woman. You dig? That's all homophobia is. Alright? Homophobia is the fear. Okay? It's a fear. Phobia. Homophobia is the fear of a man treating another man like he do a lady. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, homosexuality is in the Bible. That means it's been around forever, accepted, okay? Leviticus was a jagoff. Leviticus was a fucking closeted homosexual, if anything. Anybody who hates gay people that much, I'm sorry, you are deep in the closet. Deep. Like behind next year's Christmas presents deep. You're deep, bro. I'm too busy loving love to be hateful. I'm just I like things. Speaking of which, enough of my blah blah blah. This is one of my favorite things at El Pollo Loco. This is the delicious nacho box. I love it so much. This is like one of my favorite meals ever. And I get it with their amazing green avocado salsa. It's quite wonderful. Look at that. It's got a dollop of sour cream on the lid, which I will lick off with my fingers and my tongue. It's so crazy. Okay, listen, this is so crazy. Until I moved to California, I never knew how wonderful sour cream is. Like, I lived in the dark. It wasn't until I finally had some Mexican food with some sour cream on. I was like, where have you been all my life? Like, I'm not a fan of like most dairy products or cheeses or anything like that, but I'll tell you what, this sour cream is good. But all right, let's unbox. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, here, take a whiff. Oh, it smells so good. All right, let's open it up. And voila. Or is it voila? I don't know. Choose your own adventure. All right, what you got here? Delicious nachos. Nacho. I get it with jack cheese, okay? I like to get it with jack cheese instead of the queso sauce. Oh. But we gonna hear some chicken. We got the pico de gallo. Today is National Guacamole Day, so I had to go with the guacamole. Another American hashtag holiday. Yeehaw! And it's got beans. It's got beans. Ow. Nom, nom, nom. All right. Beans. But before we do anything, damn right, you're going in my mouth tonight. That was tasty. All right, so I like to put count them, 2 avocado salsas. I have so much trouble when I'm doing this because I don't know. Like the camera, okay, it's not like a mirror, okay? It's like I do the opposite. If I go this way, I go that way. If I do this, I go that way. So I'm learning, okay? We're learning together. It's a beautiful thing. Avocado salsa. I like to shit's so good. Like I would drink it if it came out of the soda spigot. Oh boy, 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 oh. Oh boy, oh loco. Oh boy, oh boy, oh loco. Oh, this is really, really thick avocado salsa today. My God. Wow. Nice and thick. Delicious. Take the second one, pop it open. Do like it did the last one. Nom, nom, nom. In this case, there's no such thing as professionalism. You get it on there. Once again. Just because this stuff is just, it's liquid crack. Dadgummit, that's good. Alright, we got it soused up. That's a lot of green. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a chip and we're just going to mix all the deliciousness together. Like, I don't know if you're like me. Probably not, because I'm eccentric and strange in my own special way, but whenever I am pleased with a meal, I dance in my chair like a 5-year-old, and I'm quite pleased with my meal right now. Oh, you're so good. Oh yeah, let's get this sour cream. Oh, cheese. Oh boy. Yum, 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 yum. Hello, nachos. Hello. Just called to let you know. I'm not going to unbox the soda because I'll get wet. Oh, boy. Oh, God, it's so good. My only problem is I had food poisoning yesterday, so it's like... Even when I was talking to Kim, she's like, you got food poisoning yesterday? And I was like, yeah. I told her about passing out behind the wheel, and that was the scariest thing that's happened to me in the longest time. I'm just glad to be here today. But I got nachos and you. Make me happy. I won these at Dave & Buster's. Warheads, ooze, chews, ropes. I might do a mukbang with those just to try them out. I like winning. Oh, God, these nachos are so good. Oh, my God. But my problem is I'm getting full too quick. Like, oh. That's my problem. Is like, excuse me, that was so unladylike. I'm so sorry. Like, I haven't eaten at all today. Like, been drinking water and iced tea. My great friend Carrie Ann in Pittsburgh smuggled a half-gallon of Turner's iced tea, and I've been slowly drinking it. And it's one of the things that brings me back to a place. Turner's iced tea is Pittsburgh in a bottle. I love that stuff. When I was growing up a straight edge sharp, skinhead, sharps are skinheads against racial prejudice. Straight edge means you don't drink, smoke, do drugs, have sex. Me and my crew would always drink Turner's iced tea. So, has a lot of nostalgia as far as I'm concerned. And also IBC root beer. My old best friend Meat Whistle. He and I used to drive around on McKnight Road in Pittsburgh with a case of IBC root beer. And we'd be drinking them in front of cops, hoping to get pulled over so we could give a cop a root beer. God. Some of the shit we got away with in the 80s. I mean, I'm so glad we didn't have camera phones. Oh, God. I'm going to tell you a story. All right. Still got this. I'm happy. But I'm going to tell you a story real quick about the meat baby. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm telling this story. Oh, shit. God, the meat babies. Oh, God. Please forgive me. Okay. We had these neighbors. They were awesome. When I was a kid, I lived a few doors down. They were collectors. They used to collect, like, Beatle stuff, toys. Their whole house was like a museum. It was beautiful. But they had a bunch of daughters, and the daughters had a bunch of old baby dolls. Old plastic stained baby dolls. We got this. The fuck are we thinking? We went through and just found every red thing we could find in their pantry. We went through my parents' pantry, just tried finding all sorts of stuff. We ended up stuffing. We took the body parts, okay? Took the body parts off of one of the dolls. And then we opened it up and we stuffed meat, canned tomatoes, peppers, whatever was red, we would just shove it into the meat babies. Okay? And we duct taped their backs back on them. We dressed them up all nice. Put their limbs back on. And because the reason we took the limbs off, we found out, was because sometimes the baby dolls had holes where the like joints were. So we had to tape up the holes so that the meat babies wouldn't leak. Oh, God. All right, so we end up taking about 4 or 5 meat babies around Pittsburgh. God. Oh, God, the most... we used to do some fucked up shit, yeah. But... needless to say... we put the meat babies in the middle of the road. My God. We quit doing the meat babies after something bad happened. I don't want to talk about it, but basically what happened was a car ran over a meat baby and it exploded. Oh, God. The things you can do when you're 12 years old, I swear to God. You're just lunatics. My God. The meat babies. My God, I haven't talked about that in forever. This is super duper. Like, oh, it's just sloppy hot. You know, it's just so. Disgusting. Once again, my apologies for being so unladylike. It'll never happen again until the next time. Oh, boy. All right, you know what? I'm going to tell a story real quick. It's a story about Jay Leno. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am one of the greatest stand-up comics on the face of the planet that you've never heard of. I don't perform because I don't like how the industry treats its comedians, and I refuse to be a whore. I realized this when I was working at the Comedy Store. They pay us nothing. They take everything. So, some of the perks of working at the Comedy Store: get to meet celebrity folk. And the door guy at the Comedy Store, his name was Harris Pete. Excuse me. Oh, God. Once again, I apologize. I need to be more dainty. You're right. But, all right, let me just eat this real quick. All right, so Harris Pete was a door guy at the Comedy Store who had been a door guy, I think, since the 80s. And he's just an awesome dude. Like, that guy like, I didn't have a lot of friends at the Comedy Store just because comedians are a bunch of insult jagoffs. They get pissed off that I'm funny and I get ladies, but whatever. But so good. But Harris P, he's a great guy, funny ass comedian. And he's an all around great dude. He was the voice of Muddy Mud Skipper on the Ren and Stimpy show. He was also the voice of the fireman in the Fire Dogs episode. You do not understand how much that meant to me. That made me love Harris Pete even more when I found out that information, because Ren and Stimpy was such a part of my growing up life that they don't make cartoons like that anymore. I wish they would. More nachos. But, so, Harris knows a lot of people. So Harris, he knows a lot of old school comics, new school dudes. And there was this one night, just hanging out in the front, me and Harris just shooting the shit. All of a sudden, this guy rolls up on a really super nice motorcycle, wearing all denim. And I knew exactly who it was. And then Harris goes, "Hey, look who's here." Takes off the helmet. It's the Chin. "Hey, what's up? How you doing? How you doing, Harris?" And I was just loving it. I was like, wow, this is really cool. Because to me, celebrities are just people. They're glorified by TV and movies, but to be quite honest, I realize that they're just products that sell products. That's all you are as an actor or an entertainer or sports dude. You get your sponsorships and you become a product that sells products. And that's me being a punk. I did not want to be a corporate whore like that. And that's why I just don't. You don't see me on TV. To me, TV is the devil. It's brainwashing. Why do you think shows are called programs? Go watch my programming. Anywho, sitting there talking to Harris Pete, sitting there talking to Jay Leno. I go, "Jay, how come you don't come back to the Comedy Store and perform?" Not even realizing that he owns his own club in Hermosa Beach. I just was that vapid about the whole situation. I was young. I didn't know everything. I asked Jay, I go, "How come you don't come to the Comedy Store and perform anymore?" He says, "Why would I go back to high school when I'm already in college?" Makes sense to me. Comedy Store is comedy high school. And that's why I treat it that way. It's like, I realize everyone here, it's all cliquey. It's all stupid. That was my biggest downfall with comedy and life in general. I've never been good at making, I'm great at making friends. I'm bad at keeping them. If that makes sense. Leslie Jones, who I love dearly, she has a joke. She does this thing where she goes through the audience. What's your sign? 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 And she was going through all the different zodiac signs, and she's a Virgo. She's like, "Oh yeah, Virgos, woohoo!" But she said something about Aquariuses, which is what I am. She said, Aquariuses, they know everybody. I could be hanging out in the desert, and the roadrunner and the coyote will run by, and they'll both say, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And that's about right. We do know everybody. I know a lot of people, but not a lot of people know me. You know, like, it seriously, I mean, I don't talk about it, I don't make it my identity, but it blows my mind that, like, I've known people at the Comedy Store for fucking ever. Nobody remembers I'm a fucking veteran. It's crazy. I get no respect there anyhow, so fuck that place. I'm just like high school. But I'm a loner dotty, I'm a rebel. I know that about me. I've come to realize that, you know. I'm more independent than codependent. That's me. Well, like, I get shit from my niece all the time. You're 52 years old and you're not married. And I go, yeah, my dad calls me the smart one. It's true. He told me, well, you're the smart one, son. Because I seen it, you know? Like, you know, I've seen it. My brothers, I don't know how they do it, man. Like, my younger brother, he does it for his kids. My older brother, I'm not sure. I don't know. Both of them got married after a year and a half of dating these people, and I'm like, no! You need at least 6 years and a background check, bro. My God. Like, my older brother's got his in-laws living with him in Texas. My younger brother, I feel really sorry for because his wife is dealing with some really, really bad stuff right now, but excuse me. But I'm helping her. I get her marijuana edibles to help with what she has because I love her. And I love my niece and nephew. And she gave me them. I thank her for that. But my dad is my role model too. My dad is a positive and negative role model. My dad, love my dad. He's probably the coolest guy I ever met. Like, my dad used to powerlift with WWF wrestlers back in the 80s because my dad got hit by a car when he was 14 and he ballooned up to like 400 pounds. And like, my mom still loved him back when he was like huge. So when he was 18, my dad got hit by a car when he was 14. He was incapacitated. He was crippled pretty much. He had a Jewish mother who had a martyr complex, so she just fed him and fed him and fed him and fed him and fed him until he was obese. So good. So delicious. Anyway, so my dad, 18, decided I'm tired of being a fat bastard, so I'm gonna go to the gym for 8 hours a day. And he did. My dad has this picture of him just okay, just flexing. My dad's chest is like 3 feet out from his body. His arms are just huge. Looks like Schwarzenegger's brother sitting in front of a 61 Chrysler Crown Imperial, as my Aunt Sue called it, the magic car. But my dad, oh my God, my parents have such a great history. My dad was a punk. Jewish punk, just like his son. My dad... So sorry. That was horrible. I'm so sorry. I'm getting over this freaking food poisoning, and now I got a head cold. Anyway, that goes in the garbage. But I'm very sorry about that. Excuse me. Anyway, my dad used to drag race, used to build his own hot rods because they didn't have Nintendo when he was a kid. They just invented TV when he was a kid. They actually did shit. My dad was a Duncan yo-yo champion. Like, my dad used to teach me yo-yo tricks. It was awesome. But my dad's lifting coach was this guy named Bruno Sammartino from Wexford, Pennsylvania. And Bruno was a friend of the family, you know. I'd see him every once in a while. He loved my dad loved him. Unfortunately, the WWF shit kind of went to his head, but whatever. Anyhow, my dad needed to be picked up from the gym. He was working out with his buddies. My mom asked me to come with her. Have you ever heard of a pacer? Okay. A GMC pacer. You ever seen Wayne's World? That car that looks like a fish tank on wheels? My parents had 2 of them. And those cars were fucking awesome. Okay? And we're driving the Pacer X. We're driving it up to go pick up my dad. It's the middle of winter, too. Okay, middle of winter. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Driving up to the gym. It's over where Northway Mall is. If you know where that is. If you know, you know. Take that, food hole. So, go pick up Dad, right? My dad, standing outside in the cold, shooting the shit with Bruno Sammartino, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and the 8th wonder of the world, Andre the fucking Giant. I'm 8 years old. WWF means the freaking world to me. My dad introduces me to Andre the Giant. My hand looked so tiny in his big mitt of a hand. He shakes my hand. He goes, "It's very nice to meet you." Like, I've only been starstruck a number of times in my life. That was one of them. My dad's just cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, my mom used to have to get my dad out of jail all the time. Doing stupid shit. My dad used to do so much fucking punk shit. Oh my god. Okay, so, him and his buddies used to drag race, right? And they'd fuck with the cops. Like, you can't get any more punk than that, dude. So what they do... Back in the day, cops didn't have radar. They just assumed you were speeding. So, my dad ran with a crew of dudes who were always up to no good. What's crazy is they didn't drink or smoke or nothing. They were just straight edge before straight edge. My dad is still the most straight edge person I've ever met in my life. Never done nothing. Had a sip of beer one time. Didn't like it. My dad has the most amazing willpower in the world, too. I saw something happen one Christmas at my Aunt Sandy's. I've never been able to explain it. My dad leaned over from the couch, picked up one yellow peanut M&M, put it in his mouth, ate it, and never touched the bowl of M&Ms again. I go, Pop. After about an hour or so, I'm like, Pop, how did you do that? He's like, what? I go, you ate one peanut M&M and stopped. How did you do that? And he just goes, I just wanted to see what it tastes like. Me, I'm like, amazing. My dad's amazing. But let me tell you something. Some of the stories my mom used to tell, about getting my dad out of jail were just hysterical. Because, like, okay, so they would, him and my dad's buddies, they would find a cop who was waiting to catch somebody for speeding. His buddies would go over to the squad car and start talking to the cop, asking for directions or some stupid shit, while another guy has a chain wrapped around a tree, and then they put that on the rear axle of the police car. All of a sudden, one of his buddies comes screaming by in his hot rod. The cop goes to take off, and the whole rear end just rips right off the car. That's the type of shit my dad used to do, okay? Sounds like it's from the movie Hollywood Nights, but no, this is Pittsburgh, baby. So my mom would have to bail my dad out of jail for throwing dudes through windows, okay? My dad would get thrown in jail for throwing dudes into windows, or through them, yeah. My mom will go bail him out. She's a good woman. Outside of the racism. But my dad, because he was so strong, hung out with a bunch of lifter dudes. What they would do, VW Beetles, they would pick them up, deadlift them, and then walk them onto the curb and put them down. For what reason? Just being punk. It's a beautiful thing. You know, my dad has no tattoos just like me. I don't need them. You know, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who do like them. I have nothing against them. I just don't. I'm colorful enough without them. That's how I look at it. And I also have it's the downfall of having a mustache and beard. The old gray hair, it ain't what it used to be. All right. Yeah, so if anyone wonders where am I getting my punk from, it's my daddy. It's genetics. It's where I get my amazing good look from. I love my dad. He's just getting so old. My dad, 84 years old, goes to the gym 6 days a week. You know what he says? I miss the old days when it wasn't co-ed, and you can go in there and actually lift and not have a bunch of people in there taking pictures of themselves in the damn mirror. Yeah, they're a bunch of lifting posers. That's the whole thing with today's society. That's part of the reason why I don't like social media or anything like that. I'm not really a big fan, but I need to do it in order to get my comedy career back up, right? That's what they tell me. Anyhow, I've been doing the Instagrams. I have a TikTok. I've been getting some hits. I just post little videos on there. I've been doing this YouTube, and I got my OnlyFans, which, to be honest, I'm just doing that for a laugh. If I make any money from that, I'll be way more surprised than you. I just had all those beautiful dick pics. I know where to put them. And they're funny, too, because I write messages on my penis. It's like I used to have these girlfriends and everything, and they would show me all these, like, dick pics, like, that they had. Like, I'm sorry, but this was good to the last bite. That's good unboxing mukbang review, wasn't it? But, last nugget. Finish him. I did. That was so good. Oh my god. It is 9:41 in the evening, and that was one of the best breakfasts I've had in forever. My god, was that good. Alright. I got one more dad story for you. Okay? One more dad. You cannot tell me that my dad doesn't love his kids. You cannot tell me that. You can, but I hope it's in jest. But my dad fucking loves me. And he loves my brothers. And I love my dad. I want to tell you a story about my dad. My dad's a superhero. Alright? He doesn't advertise it with a cape or a mask or anything like that, or wearing his underwear outside of his pants. My dad is a superhero. When I was 11 and my older brother was 13, we were in Wildwood, New Jersey. We would go there every year for a vacation because my dad, he never had much time to spend with us because he was always working, but he would make time for vacation. We would go sailing in the ocean because he had a bunch of catamarans. We'd go to the Wildwood, New Jersey boardwalk, have a great time. But there was this one night, Maury's Pier used to have a go-kart track underneath it. And my older brother was tall enough that he could ride the go-karts. My brother was very tall for his age. And unfortunately for him, he was heavyset. So he used to get ridiculed a lot as a child, and it sucked. It really did. And it's still, you know, it still hurts me to think about because, to be quite honest, I was part of the ridicule. I blame me. I blame me. I said bad things about my brother when I was a kid. I regret it, and I let him know, and we have since buried the hatchet, and I love my older brother a lot. He's great. Fucking love my older brother. But okay, now that I've got that dark secret off my chest, my older brother was waiting to go on the go-karts at Maury's Pier. He gets in one of the go-karts, and then there's these two frat boys that keep ramming their go-kart into my older brother. Just bam, just bam. My older brother's just like, what the fuck? And then one of the frat boys, bam, makes my older brother spin out on the go-kart track. He doesn't know what to do, so he starts crying. My dad wasn't having any of it. My dad pushed through the long-ass line at Maury's Pier, jumped onto the go-kart track, jumped on to the go-kart of the motherfucker that did that to my older brother. My dad unbuckled his safety belt and threw him onto the go-kart track with go-karts going around him. My dad had his left hand around this asshole's throat. My dad had his right hand up in the air, and he knocked the shit out of this guy. Why the fuck are you doing this to my son? Okay? Why the fuck are you doing this to my son? The rides stopped. Okay? My dad let the guy go, and he ran away, and so did his little frat boy friend. At that moment, I fucking realized, you know what? My dad would do that for me, too. My dad's a fucking superhero. I love my dad. He's, like I said, the greatest guy I ever met. I call them up a lot because I'm really scared of the day that I can't anymore. Matt. All right, we're going to leave it there. Yeah, we're going to leave it there. That was a good mukbang. I love my dad. And I love them nachos. They are delicious, but I love my dad more. Check out my Instagram. I just won a bunch of stuff at Dave & Buster's. I won lunch. I live streamed it. This one woman was like, how'd you win that? And I'm like, I'm just good. I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to boast, but I like hot butter on my breakfast toast. All right. You folks have a great night. I'm going to do some L. Ron Jeremy tomorrow, so we're going to have fun with that. Sunday sermon, L. Ron Jeremy. Yeah, all right. You guys have a great night. Thank you for watching, and stay great. That's all I can ask. Just stay awesome. And if you leave a shitty comment, really? That's what is that what you got to do with your life? Whatever. Whatever. There's all kinds of people in the world. Some way more angry than me. I pity them. Anyway, I'm out. You guys have a great night. Thank you for watching. I'm Skippy Simon. That was my unboxing mukbang review of El Pollo Loco's delicious nachos. They are delicious.